welcome to today's discussion as a series of discussion in the Common Regional Market Week organized by CDI in Albania and its partners across all of the Western Balkan region countries. This is Prishtina's event in which we will be having another chance to discuss the Common Regional Market Initiative and Kosovo's role in implementing reforms and also reforming its economic structure to benefit from the common regional market, but to also prepare the country for the EU integration and the integration in the EU's single market. We are happy as INDEP to be part of this initiative, to be the local implementing party. And today I'm very honored to have participation from institutional level as well as from civil society, representatives of the businesses, and also our regional partners and European partners with which we will have the chance to have a fruitful discussion.
Kjo është, domethënë, Dardani pak e përmendi, kemi filluar bashkë me CDI-n e Tiranës, një java e tregut përbashkët rajonal, që ne si shoqëri civile shumë edhe procesi Berlinit diçka një farë rrugë para antarësimit përgjithshëm të rajonit në Bashkimin Evropian, që besoj është i vetmi konsenzus që të gjitha shtetet e Ballkanit Perëndimor e kanë, që është ajo rruga e drejt Bashkimit Evropian. Për arsye se ne kemi shumë probleme mes veti fshintësore, disa nivelet nashta ma politik, disa ma teknik, po tash besoj që me 10 vjetorin e samitit Berlinit, ndoshta përshuhëm një trodrit edhe për një trakt përbashkëm rajonal. I kemi këtu pengesat që është para 3 vjeteve që në shkrua 2 vjete kjo marrëveshja në Berlin mes liderëve për lëvizjet të lirë, njohjen e profesioneve. Tash ekziston një shtet që ka pranuar. Kosova ka ecë një hap përpara, edhe përse Bosnia dhe Hercegovina nuk i ka pranuar, ende ka problem në njohjen e dokumente Kosovës. Qeveria Kosovës veç ka filluar qytetarët të Bosnjës të anjet të drejtën e lëvizjes pa viza. Kështu që po presum, ne si perspektive shoqërisë civile, ndoshta jemi të presë, jemi më optimist, që po presum që kjo nisma e tregut përbashkët rajonal ka me qenë një sukses i rrodhës që unë përmendimin tim besoj që në 2030 do të jetë ajo data kur këtë vendet e Ballkanit Perëndimor do të bashkohen familjes të Bashkimit Evropian. Ndoshta jam shumë optimist, por 6 vjet i kemi përpara, për 6 vjet mund me bë shumë gjëra, kështu që kjo pjesa tej tash ishin në 4 kryetështete debatet, në bazë debateve që u bënën, kish një fatru shpresë që pa me edhe për akterve qeverisë, po edhe shoqërisë civile. Nesër është konferenca e fundit në Sarajevo, do të shikojmë si është disponimi atje dhe ta shikojmë që kjo nis të përfundoj për të mirë dhe të gjithë vendet e Ballkanit Perëndimor të mos humbin kohë dhe në 2030, ndoshta unë pak më optimist, të jemi gjithë pjesë e familjes evropiane.
But it feels like I'm there physically with you at Europe House. It is true that, as Burim said, this is part of the chain of events that we have been organizing together with our partners and friends and colleagues in Tirana last week, in Podgorica, in Skopje, yesterday in Belgrade, today in Pristina, and tomorrow in Sarajevo. So it's quite intense. It has demanded a lot of coordination and last-minute arrangements, but we are flowing forward, and I take this opportunity to share our special thanks. And when I say our special thanks, it means not only our CDIs, but also of our partners, in this case INDEP, to 2 specific persons that have been with us during at least until now, which is Valeska Esch from Berlin and Olivera Tseni-Bardichi from CEFTA. Well, yesterday was a colleague of hers. Thank you very much for being with us for a whole week. We appreciate it very, very much. 2 words because I leave the floor to the panelists. This chain of events comes less than 3 weeks from the the Berlin summit. It has been a very successful event. I believe it has been over the expectancies, and I'm very happy that Mr. Zulfay is here because it shows the commitment and the political will and support it has from the countries of the Western Balkans to this whole endeavor. It also comes after the approval of the reform list for the growth plan, and this is also great because it shows progress not only towards regional cooperation but also towards the efforts that each of our countries is doing to full membership.
I'm glad that we've heard already several times that we're looking back at a successful 10-year anniversary summit. We fully share that assessment and we are quite happy with the outcomes. And as I have done in previous of these discussions, I would really also like to use this opportunity to thank everyone involved in making this a success, which is the regional organizations that have worked really hard, like CEFTA and the RCC, also the EU Commission, but of course also the governments in the Western Balkans, because they are, in the end of the day, the ones that agreed on all of the achievements of this year's Berlin process. I would also say the biggest progress could be achieved with view to the common regional market. It was already mentioned, a new action plan until 2028 was endorsed. A new mobility agreement on the access to higher education and admission to study in the Western Balkans was signed, and already a few days before the summit, CEFTA's decision-making was unblocked, which not only allowed the adoption of 9 decisions with very concrete benefits for citizens across the region, but which will be absolutely crucial for the implementation of the new action plan. But I would like to mention a few additional achievements that we believe are extremely important. One being the Declaration on Regional Standards for the Screening of Foreign Direct Investments for the Western Balkan 6. This is an initiative that especially also the Kosovar government pushed for, and we believe it's very important. And there have been several joint declarations, for example, on science and innovation, on infrastructure access, but also to reaffirm good neighborly relations, to reaffirm the commitments for the implementation of the Green Agenda, and also a joint declaration on food and agriculture, which is a newly added issue as part of the Berlin process, but also a very important one. From the German perspective, maybe briefly on the question why we believe all of this is so important. You all know that the German government wants to see all 6 countries of the Western Balkans fully integrated into the European Union as quickly as possible.
We celebrated the 10th anniversary of the Berlin process on the October 14th. And when you look back on what has been achieved for 10 years, at the center has been the connectivity agenda, but at the end, I would say in the last 3 years, since 2022, we have made a lot of progress because in 2020 we had the common regional market, which was adopted in Sofia. And since then, we have entered into a new phase, I would say, with the Berlin process, where we tackle concrete problems in the region, which are not also easy to solve. So I think that with these practical issues that the Berlin process is solving is also giving something concrete to the citizens, like recognition of diplomas and free movement with ID cards. Or take the issue that we were able to resolve in the Berlin process with the help of the German government, removal of UNMIK from CEFTA, which was there, since 2006. So there are now concrete things that we are doing in the Berlin process. We are not just expanding freedoms and removing barriers for students, academics, and professionals, but we are also solving concrete issues which make the life of the citizens easier. So in that sense, the 10th anniversary was a success, also because we unblocked CEFTA, but also because we were able to endorse, to sign a new agreement on access to higher education. Ms. Valeska mentioned that we have mobility agreements which still need to be ratified, but also others that need still to be implemented. And we are hopeful that we are moving in that direction, that we'll have professionals who will take advantage of the region. It is more beneficial to do trade in a region with 17 million for our businesses and companies rather than 1.8, or the statistics 1.6 million. So these are the concrete benefits that we'll have. And taking into account that the common regional market now is directly linked with the EU growth plan, we will have much more incentives to deliver within the region, because for whatever we do, the European Union has made a plan to finance these reforms. So not only that we'll benefit by reforming our economies, by digitalizing our roads, by making it easier to pay and easier to move, but for these incentives that makes our lives better, the European Union is going to give us grants and loans so that we get there faster. And that is because they also want us to integrate gradually with a single European, with a single market. And benefits like SEPA, as was mentioned, is directly linked with also our economy, but the daily lives of the people, because we have a huge diaspora which send remittances here, and